What is going on, Bucs fans and CFP fans? Evan Wanish here, back at you with yet another video talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And today, I'm going to be breaking down players to watch for the Buccaneers Week 6 matchup against the San Francisco 49ers. A matchup of two 4-1 teams here in the NFC who could end up, meaning a lot towards the end of the season, right? I know we're in Week 6 and still a lot of football left to be played, but a week 6 game could mean a ton come week 16, week 17. So definitely a big one coming up. But I am not alone today. Joining me is my CFP co-host, Mr. Rhett Matthew. Rhett, how are you doing today?
I am doing well, my friend. Excited for this matchup. Another chance for the Buccaneers to prove that they belong among the top contenders in the NFC. And things get more competitive by the week. So we talked about it on the game preview. This is a game with potential playoff implications. A lot on the line this week. Excited to dive into it.
For sure there is. And look, both these teams have injury reports, right? And that's going to play into the players to watch that we have for this week. Going to be starting off on offense. And I mentioned the injury reports because it's a reason one of these guys is on here. Actually, both these guys, to be honest with you. We're going to start off with Rashad White. Now, the reason he's there is because Bucky Irving is not going to be playing, most likely. Not officially ruled out as of recording this video, but it seems very, very, very likely that he will be ruled out. So it'll be Rashad White again, just like it was in Seattle. And look, last week in Seattle, Rashad White did the job, right? Like he did what he needed to do, ended up scoring 2 touchdowns, was solid in pass protection, was solid as a pass catcher. So if the Buccaneers can get a repeat of that performance, I think they'd be in good shape, from the running back room.
Yeah, I think so too. And again, you talk about his importance not only getting touchdowns on the board at 2 of them last week for Tampa Bay, but in pass protection. I think getting the pass game involved early in this game is going to be huge to dictating the pace and trying to keep your guys confident, especially Baker Mayfield did a really good job last week throwing the football. Rashad White was a huge part of that. He has been a godsend in pass protection so far this season. So I think his role is just as critical again this week. Would like to see him have more success on the ground, but I think protecting Baker Mayfield is going to be a bigger priority when you consider the weapons that they have in that department. So I know this San Francisco pass rush is without Bosa right now, but they've got some guys that are still stepping up, and they still have some game wreckers on that D-line.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the pass protection thing. It's something that, Bucky has improved upon, but I think it's something that Rashad White is a much better pass blocker than Bucky Irving. So that's a pretty big part there. Staying on the offensive side of the ball, and another thing with injury, we're going to be talking about Sterling Shepard, the veteran wide receiver who actually scored a touchdown last week to tie the game, or to set up the tie, I guess I could say. Has been solid for the Bucs, right? Like has been really good for the Bucs this year. Really, and last year too. But Chris Godwin, his status a little bit up in the air right now. As of the recording of this video, we're not 100% sure if he's going to be able to go or not. If he can't go, though, Sterling Shepard becomes a lot more important. Obviously, Emeka Buka, the standout rookies there, but he can't do it all, right? The Bucs are going to have somebody else step up, and Sterling Shepard could be that guy.
Yeah, and he's a guy who has just consistently been stepping up week in and week out. Like, it's not like he has these, flashes here and there. He's making critical gains for first down. He's, taking a screen pass first down and then some to set up a game-winning field goal for the Bucs against New York a couple of weeks ago. Like, he is coming up big time in these situations, and Josh Grizzard is getting creative with him. He's had a couple of carries this year, so the fact that the veteran is proven to still be savvy, still have a little bit of juice left in the tank, is very, very good to see. He has been a hugely underrated part of this Bucs offense so far.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, just if he can step up, give Baker Mayfield another option there, a guy that can get open, I think it'd be big for the offense. Moving on to the defense now, we're going to be talking about two guys really in the same position, Servasi Dennis and Levante David. Look, like these guys, they're going to have a tall task, right? Christian McCaffrey is the 49ers running back, a little bit banged up, but probably going to play. Those guys are going to be covering him in passing downs a lot of the time, and those guys are going to have to step up, and it is not going to be easy.
No, it certainly isn't. And when we talk about just covering a back like Christian McCaffrey, with what we've already seen so far from Servasi Dennis, tall task is certainly an understatement. I think these guys can't do it by themselves. And again, we talked a little bit more in detail on the game preview, but if the Buccaneers can get dynamic with some of these players getting healthy in the secondary, maybe they can lend a hand, right? Maybe they can spy on Christian McCaffrey for a drive or two. I would like to see that workload split up more than just Servassier Dennis and Levante David, because while those guys do have their plays this season, it hasn't been all bad. It's been a lot of bad, and it's been enough that I am certainly concerned about this matchup and how the Bucs plan to address it.
No, for sure. And that's gonna be a big key to this game, right? Like if the Bucks are able to win, I think it's because they found a way to stop Christian McCaffrey. If they don't, it's probably because Christian McCaffrey went off, unfortunately. One more guy we're gonna mention on the defense is cornerback Jacob Parrish. I'm only mentioning him because again, the Bucks have some injuries there, right? Zion McCollum's a little bit banged up. Jamel Dean may come back. Fellow rookie Benjamin Morrison, most likely still out. But Jacob Parrish played his worst game in the NFL, right, last week. And like he's been really good, but he didn't play great. And it was, I think, partially due to not being exclusively in that nickel position that he's really been thriving in. So, what did you see out of Parrish last week? And what do you think is his outlook for this game?
Well, like you said, it's, small sample size. He is a rookie in the NFL, but he just wasn't the player that we saw in previous weeks against Seattle. I think he's going to bounce back just fine. And I think he has a good opportunity against San Francisco because some of these matchups, we can talk about Christian McCaffrey. Jake Tongs, the second string tight end, has been stepping up playing well too. But outside of that, looking at the offense here for San Francisco, I've heard this said elsewhere, but like they don't have any other world beaters, if you will. And I think that plays into an advantage for Jacob Parrish this week. He's small, but he's physical. And to put it plainly, I think he's going to mess some guys up this week.
Hopefully, the Bucks defense definitely is going to need some more guys to step up as the injuries are still there, trying to get healthier, but still a banged up group. Facing a 49ers team that's pretty banged up too, so maybe it'll even out. But let us know who you're keeping an eye on in this game. Who are your biggest players to watch? Offense, defense. We're really curious to hear all of that stuff. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and go Bucks.